Dan, what time are you coming home today?
Around 7. How about you, Angie?
I think I'll be home by noon. I'll directly go home after my meeting with my client. I'll prepare some dinner when I get home.
Thanks, I'm looking forward to it.
Talking with you like this really makes me feel that we got married. We were really busy unpacking yesterday. It was a pretty hectic day.
Yeah, we even ate our lunch using boxes as a table.
Yeah, the furniture didn't arrive in time. But I think we really made a wise choice about the furniture. Our room is so beautiful.
Yep, it reflects our preferences and personality perfectly. Thanks for organizing everything, Angie.
I wanted a room where we can relax because we spend most of our time there. Let's make many memories at our new home.
Yeah, Angie, I have something I want to talk about with you.
What's wrong?
Now that we're married, there's some things I don't want you to do.
Things you don't want me to do? Did I do something wrong?
It's not like you did anything wrong. It's my opinion as your husband. I don't think you have to put on makeup every day.
Huh? Makeup? Like foundation and eyeshadow?
Yeah.
Dan, what are you saying? It's a normal thing. Everyone does it. I can't go out without makeup, Dan.
But it's not required by law.
Well, yeah. For me, makeup is a way to look good and give a good impression.
What? Did your company ask you to do so?
It's not a requirement. But makeup helps me leave a good impression on my clients. It helps me with my job, so I choose to put makeup on.
But you don't work in sales. You don't meet so many clients.
I do meet my colleagues and clients every day. I want to look nice in my office. I need to put makeup on, Dan. I can't go to work with my bare face.
Then do guys at your office wear any makeup?
I'm not sure if my colleagues do. But I guess the new employees do. It's not rare for men to also wear makeup nowadays.
They wear it for fashion.
Hey, Dan, why are you asking me to stop wearing makeup all of a sudden?
I'm just worried. I feel like your makeup to attract attention from guys.
Huh? That's definitely not the reason.
Then why did you put on makeup on the day you went on a date with me?
Well, I wanted to look as pretty as possible.
See? You wear makeup to look nice.
But I wear makeup mainly for myself. I want to look like my ideal self. What I want to say is, I don't wear makeup for guys.
I can't accept that answer.
Then what am I supposed to say?
Are you dissatisfied with our marriage? I thought you wanted to marry me.
Of course I wanted to marry you, and I'm really happy right now. But I think it's a different story.
How is it different?
Sorry, Dan. I have to go back to work. My lunch break is ending soon. Can we talk about this when I get home?
Okay. I have more to say, too. Let's talk about it in person tonight. Angie, are you home? It's been 3 hours since you left for your parents' house.
It takes me some time to get there. And Mom invited me to have dinner with them tonight.
Huh? You're still at your parents' house?
I thought you also went out today.
I was planning to go home by dinner. It's only been a month since we got married, but you're not preparing dinner for your beloved husband?
It's just for today. I'm cooking for you almost every day.
You're my wife, Angie. You should cook for your husband every day. Isn't that normal?
Hey, Dan. We both have a job. Didn't we agree to do housework together?
I'm in charge of taking the trash out.
There's more to housework. And about my job.
You finally decided to quit your job?
No. I'm sorry, but I haven't been able to make my decision yet.
It's already been a week since we talked about this, and I'm pleading you. Why can't you make the decision?
It's a hard decision to make. You suddenly ask me to quit my job. And the reason why you want me to quit is because there are male workers.
Yeah, it's dangerous to work with guys.
How is it dangerous?
Affairs happen most of people working at the same workplace. I'm worried about you, Angie.
I will never cheat on you. You don't believe me?
You're easily influenced by others. I have to make sure you're safe.
Hey Dan, what's gotten into you since we got married? First you asked me to stop wearing makeup, then you forbid me from wearing skirts, and now you're telling me to quit my job? Aren't you being a bit too sensitive?
You're the sensitive one. Why can't you just listen to your husband? If you're my wife, do what I said. If you continue to refuse, you're getting divorced.
Divorce?
Yeah, I don't want a wife who doesn't follow my orders. But I bet you don't want a divorce. You just got married. You'll be too embarrassed to tell your parents and colleagues that you already got divorced.
Hey, are you serious?
It's your fault. You keep on doing things I told you not to. You're trying to attract guys' attention by wearing makeup and skirts. Are you still trying to seduce guys?
No, I never thought so. Okay, Dan, I made my decision. I'm gonna stop wearing makeup and skirts, but I won't quit my job.
Oh, really? I guess you have a lover at your office. You must have a specific reason why you don't want to quit your job.
Why would you think like that? I just like my job. It's what I always dreamed to do.
I'm not asking you to stop working. I'm just asking you to work at an office that doesn't have any male workers.
Dan, please. Can you be more considerate of me?
I'm asking you to do these things for you. You don't understand my feelings at all. Come home early. You have to change for the better. I'll have to forbid you from going out until you understand your role and responsibility as my wife.
Dan, why are you being so selfish? Did you call my boss this morning to tell him that I'll be quitting my job?
Yeah, I did. So what?
Dan, I told you I didn't want to quit my job. I've been trying to accept your request. I don't wear makeup. I never wear skirts anymore. And I don't go out on weekends.
You just stopped wearing makeup and skirts because I dumped them into the bin.
But I'm still doing what you told me. And I've allowed you to check my phone every day when I come back from work. I'm doing my best. Don't be so selfish, Dan.
You're married now, Angie. You don't have to work. Why are you so obsessed with your job? I have no idea why. I guess you're hiding something from me.
No!
Then just quit your job.
I like to work with my colleagues, my boss, and my clients. I like my job. It was my dream to get this job. There's so much more I can do now compared to when I was a new employee. I enjoy doing my job, so I don't want to quit.
I thought it was your dream to be my wife.
That's a different story. Dan, listen. I married you because I loved your kind personality. You never asked me to quit my job when we were dating. You also never said anything about my appearance. What's gotten into you, Dan?
I never said anything because we weren't married yet.
Huh?
We were still strangers when we were dating each other. But now that you're married, you're officially my wife. I have the right to say anything I want.
That doesn't make sense. Being your wife doesn't mean I'm your possession.
I don't think you're my possession. I'm not trying to objectify you, but I think you should listen to what I have to say as my wife. If you act like my wife, I have nothing to say.
Then you should have married someone else. Someone who never wears makeup nor skirts. Someone who is willing to quit their job after marriage. You should have told me your requirements before we get married.
Why should I? I don't want to marry someone I don't love. I fell in love with you, Angie.
You keep on telling me all my responsibilities and role as your wife. But how about you, Dan? You also work with women. You also wear hair wax and perfume. Would you stop wearing them if I asked you to? Will you be willing to work at a company without women?
Angie, you really have no idea. I don't have to do that. I'm a guy and your husband.
Huh?
Why would I have to listen to my wife? You're misunderstanding. And there's nothing to worry about because I will never cheat on you.
Okay, I get it.
I'm glad to hear that. You finally understood what I said.
Yeah, thanks. I completely understand what you said. I'll stop doing everything.
That's great, Angie. The only thing you should do is to devote yourself to your husband. I hope you can be the best wife for me. Hey, Angie, where are you?
I'm working. I told you it was my last day.
Stop lying to me.
Huh?
You want to hang out with a guy. I saw it with my own eyes. You were walking with a guy I didn't recognize with a big smile on your face.
Oh, you saw that?
You think that's acceptable behavior? How can you hang out with a guy without telling me? I'm gonna make you regret this. I don't think I can keep my calm today.
Well, I'm not going home tonight.
Huh? You're not coming home?
I told you it was my last day.
I thought it was your last day at work. You're gonna quit your job today.
No, it's my last day as your wife. So I decided to leave the house. I'm having my things carried out now. And the guy you saw me with, he's the lawyer I hired for our divorce.
Huh? What do you think you're doing? I would never accept our divorce.
You were the one who told me to get a divorce if I wasn't able to follow your orders. I made my decision. I can't live as your wife.
It's only been a month or so since we got married. People will laugh at you if they heard you got divorced this fast. Your parents would feel upset too.
But I can't bear living with you any longer.
You're insane. I'm never getting divorced. Come home right now.
I'm telling you that I'll never go back home. And I think you're the one who doesn't want to be laughed at. You love to put a good front. People will definitely gossip about our divorce.
If you're gonna divorce me, I'm gonna spread the rumor that you cheated on me.
I don't mind. If I can get a divorce, I would do anything. I don't care how your friends and colleagues think about me.
Angie, what's gotten into you? I thought you wanted to make many fun memories with me. I was being strict because I wanted you to become a good wife.
You're insane, Dan. Are you trying to make me stay? You never wanted a good wife. You just wanted an obedient wife who would follow all your orders. I can't be what you want me to be.
Angie! You can wear makeup from now on. You can also wear skirts. You don't have to quit your job.
It's too late. I can't trust you anymore.
I was just genuinely worried. I thought someone would take you away from me, Angie.
It was too much for me. I don't think your actions were out of worry. You believed that your wife would obey all your orders once you got married. You're so old-fashioned to think that men can do whatever they want while women should not.
Wives are supposed to devote themselves to their husband, if their happiness is to do so. But you're always trying to look good to seduce other guys. You never listen to what I asked you to do. You're crazy. It doesn't make any sense at all. All women dream to get married. Only marriage can bring them happiness. I thought that was why you married me.
Ugh, you're disgusting. Your ideas creep me out. Stop pushing your own ideals on me. You were kind to me when we were dating because you thought I would escape once I got to know your real personality. You suddenly changed your attitude after getting married because you knew I wouldn't be able to get a divorce so easily. I can't stay with someone who wants to control me.
Angie, I'm so sorry. I'll go back to being my kind self. Let's get back together, okay?
I don't want to. I no longer love you, Dan.
How can you stop loving me in such a short period of time? I thought you loved me. Remember our wedding vows?
I loved you so much at one point, but your actions ruined everything. You're to be blamed for changing me in such a short period of time.
I'm sorry, Angie. Let me apologize. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I can't bear it anymore. Find a new wife who would devote herself to you. I will find my own happiness in my life. If you want an obedient wife, how about you marry a doll? We had several discussions about our divorce with our lawyer, but it was impossible to have a proper conversation with Dan. He kept crying all the time, and we eventually ended up having a divorce mediation. Nevertheless, I guess he was too shocked to participate. Thanks to his absence, my requests were accepted, and I was able to get a divorce earlier than planned. I was lucky that we didn't have to discuss much about our property because we were only married for a short period of time. I'm happy that the process went relatively smoothly. Dan threatened me to spread the rumor that I cheated on him after we got a divorce, but I am ready to fight back. Even if he tried spreading the rumor, I'm confident that no one would believe him. His parents seemed surprised about our sudden divorce, but they understood why after I showed them our conversations and the audio recordings about what my husband told me. His father seemed frustrated when I showed them the footage, so I guess his father had similar ideas as him. Maybe Dan was a victim of his father's influence, but I'm not gonna endure it. I am happy from the bottom of my heart to be able to get a divorce. But I felt a bit awkward at first after my divorce. My boss told me he'll be counting on me at work. I want to try my best because it was always my dream. We tend to listen to everything our loved ones tell us to do because we love them and want to please them. But we should also value our own feelings, and they should also respect us. Thanks to my past self, I am here now doing what I always dreamed to do. I don't know about my future, but I live a free life and do whatever I want for now.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Marshall, just checking in on you. Did you make it home all right?
Hey, babe. Yeah, I just got back. I'm really sorry about today, Elena. I know you were looking forward to spending the evening together, but I just started feeling sick all of a sudden.
It's no problem at all. You can't help it when you're feeling sick. Although, I've been noticing lately that you haven't been as energetic as you usually are. Is everything okay? Are you really busy at work or something? I'd hate to see you work yourself sick.
Nah, don't worry about me. I'm totally fine. I don't know, I think I might be coming down with a cold or something, that's all. And besides, I bet you're working way harder than I do lately. You've been doing practically all the wedding planning by yourself.
Oh, don't be silly. It's not that much work. We're not planning to have a big blowout wedding anyway. We're just inviting close family and a few of our friends. And honestly, I kind of enjoy it. It makes me more excited to see how it actually turns out.
I'm really sorry about that. I know it's all my fault. You'd rather have a fancy wedding, wouldn't you?
How is it your fault? What do you mean, Marshall?
Well, I mean, I'm an orphan, and since both of my parents were the only children in their families, I don't have any relatives at all. I know you're having a small ceremony so that I won't feel bad about my side of the chapel being completely empty. And plus, women always dream of these big, elaborate weddings where they walk down the aisle looking like princesses, and you can't have that because of me.
Oh, Marshall, you don't have anything to feel guilty for.
Yeah, I do.
How long have we been together now? You know, I've never been one to enjoy being the center of attention. I was never planning to invite a ton of people or have a royalty-style wedding in the first place. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind if the only people in the room were you and me.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. The only wedding dream I've ever had is to be surrounded by my closest family and friends. Again, you don't need to worry about a thing, Marshall.
If you say so. Thanks, Elena. Thanks for everything.
I'm the one who should be thanking you. Up until you came along, I thought I was going to be married to my office desk for the next 40 years. I never thought I'd actually be able to marry a stand-up guy.
Yeah, I really lucked out too. I managed to lock you down before some other guy came along and picked you up.
There isn't a single other man in the world who I would want to marry but you. With my work, I'm out of town a lot of the time. And that's in addition to time I have to spend at the office. So I'm away from home a lot of the time, and in general don't have much free time to spend with you. Plus, I always say exactly what I think, and that's not what guys want, is it? Why did you ask me to marry you anyway?
I think it's super respectable the way you know exactly what you want in life and have everything set in order for yourself. And as for your brutal honesty, I'm pretty cool with that too. You're feisty. That's kind of hot.
Oh, come on, really? Marshall, remember the time when I was massively busy at work and couldn't see you for almost 3 months? I still can't believe you waited for me. Most men wouldn't.
And for you, I'll wait as long as you want me to. Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, it does get pretty lonely for me when I can't see you. But I know that wherever you are, whether you're across the country or across the world for me, I'll always be your number one guy, and that's enough for me.
I'm glad you understand how serious I am about you. Thank you so much for staying by my side through everything, Marshall. If you start to feel any worse, you let me know right away, got it? All I have to do is hit the save button and I could be right over there anytime, day or night.
You'll be the first one I call. Unless I'm dying or something. In that case, I'll call an ambulance and then call you.
Yeah, I think that would be for the best. Sleep well, Marshall. Good night.
Hey, Elena, I'm really sorry about this, but I have to cancel on you. I'm not going to be able to go and see you today after all.
Oh no, what's the matter? Did something come up?
It's an awful mess. Gonna take forever to get everything cleaned up and back to normal.
Oh, are you alright? I mean, tomorrow is our wedding day.
Yeah, that won't be a problem. There's no way the guys here would make me come into work on my own freaking wedding day. It'll have me up later than I'd like to be, but I'm pretty sure I can take care of this all tonight.
Are you sure? You're gonna be able to get home and get enough sleep for tomorrow, right?
Don't worry, this won't be an all-nighter. I promise I will definitely be on time. You can count on me.
Okay, I trust you, Marshall. Well, I'm gonna leave straight from here to go to the chapel tomorrow.
Gotcha. I'm sorry about this. I know you were saying that you wanted to go together.
It's alright, there's nothing you can do about it. It's your work.
Oh, and one more thing. I kinda had one favor I wanted to ask of you.
What is it?
We were planning on submitting our marriage certificate the day after the wedding, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's the anniversary of our first date.
About that, do you think we can possibly do it on a different day?
What? Why?
I was kinda thinking, wouldn't it be more meaningful to pick a different date? You know, like the anniversary of our first kiss? Or the anniversary of when I proposed to you?
Well, I guess I'm not too fussy about when we go to the courthouse. But what makes you want to change our plans all of a sudden? Did something come up?
No, not really. I was just thinking, this is the day we officially, legally become husband and wife, right? So, maybe we could make it a little more special. Like, how about Valentine's Day? Wouldn't that be a better day to do it?
Marshall, what's going on?
Nothing at all.
You've been acting kinda different lately. Even in the times we're together, you seem like your mind is on something else. I don't know, I just get this weird feeling about you.
Really? Huh. I don't feel any different than usual, though.
You've been looking unwell lately, like you're coming down with something. Are you under some kind of stress lately? Are you worried about something? Is it about our wedding? Are you having second thoughts?
No, that's not it at all, Lena. I'm absolutely not having second thoughts. There's no girl I want to marry but you, Elena.
But Marshall, when you all of a sudden want to push back the day we legally become married, it makes me wonder.
I'm really sorry. There's really no deeper intent behind it, I swear. It's just, well, you know me. I get these ideas in my head and there's nothing anyone can do to convince me otherwise. I just don't see why we have to rush right over to get all the paperwork is all. Our love is more important to me.
Really?
Really? You could get eloped today if we wanted to.
But what happened to the problem at your office?
Oh, yeah, that. Okay, so we can't do it today, but we can do it anytime we want, right? So please, don't think that I'm having second thoughts about marrying you.
Okay. I'm sorry, Marshall, that was an overreaction. I shouldn't have said that.
I should have said it differently. I'm the one who made you worry.
We can turn in our marriage certificate whenever you want. Let's just get through the wedding for now, I guess. Come to think of it, we're not even going to be able to move in together for another month after we get married. Maybe it would be better to wait until we're settled in to keep things from getting too hectic.
Thanks for compromising it. I'll see if there's any meaningful dates for us after about a month from now.
Yeah, let me know if you get any ideas. Okay, I should let you get back to work. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, Elena. Let's make tomorrow the best day of our lives. Good morning, Elena. Today's the big day. I'm so excited. So, how are things going over there? Is everything coming together all right?
Yeah, we're just about finished getting ready over here. But, Marshall, where are you right now? What are you doing? I hadn't seen you yet, so I went around the whole building looking for you. But I couldn't find you anywhere. You're not here yet?
Yeah, I kinda got a little nervous. I locked myself in the bathroom downstairs ever since I got here. Childish, I know. I'm sorry.
I see.
What's going on? I just got to the dressing room and I expected to see you there, but it was totally empty. I don't see your mom or anyone else around either. Where's my bride? I was hoping to sneak a peek at your beautiful white dress before the ceremony starts. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I couldn't help myself.
My mom and I found your kid, so we're taking him over to his mother's house right now.
Huh? My kid?
It seems as though you haven't been entirely honest with me, have you, Marshall? You never told me you were married. Had I known, things would have gone much differently between us. As in, nothing would have happened between us.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm married? Don't be silly, babe. I'm not married yet. We still haven't had our wedding yet. You're jumping the gun a little bit.
While I was getting dressed in the changing room, I heard the voice of a crying little boy through the window. When we looked outside, we saw a boy crouched down in the back alley behind the chapel, crying his eyes out. So we went over to see if he was okay. Would you like to know what he told us, Marshall? He said his father slapped him in the face and told him to go home.
That's weird. What kind of father hits his own son like that?
It is weird, isn't it? It's positively perplexing. I mean, none of the guests today have any children that young.
I guess he must live in one of the houses around here then.
You know where he lives, Marshall. Seriously, how long are you going to pretend like nothing is going on? The child lives with you because he's your child. We just dropped him off with your wife, so we know everything. It's over. You said you locked yourself in the bathroom, right? That much was true. But it wasn't because you were nervous. You were just hiding in there and waiting for your wife and son to leave.
That's not true. It must be an old girlfriend of mine. Yeah, that's who it is. Damn, that woman was always so clingy. How can she still be trying to get back together with me on my wedding day? What a psycho.
She showed us pictures of the two of you together on her phone. They were from last week. She was planning on confronting you during the ceremony, but you saw them pulling up in their parking lot and ruined their plan. And another thing, we saw the big argument you two were having just now. You know, where you were trying to physically force her back into her car and shouting at her to go home?
That's not what happened. I know it looks bad, but give me a minute to explain. I can clear everything up. But we don't have time to have that conversation right now. It's a long story. We've got to get back to the chapel. Our wedding is going to start soon.
Did you really think I was gonna let the wedding go forward like normal, knowing everything that I now know? The wedding is off, Marshall, and so is our engagement.
Elena, please. I'm begging you. Give me a chance to explain everything to you. It's all one big misunderstanding, and if you'll listen to me, I'm sure you'll come to see things from my point of view. You can't just break up with me without giving me my chance to give you my side of the story. That's not fair.
We've already set a time for tomorrow when we'll have our formal discussion, Marshall. You can wait until then to tell us whatever nonsense you mean by your side of the story.
No, this can't wait until tomorrow. You've already made the decision to break up with me without even talking to me.
And so what if I have? Do you think there is anything you could possibly say to me that would change my mind?
It would be one thing if it was just going to be the two of us talking things out, but your parents are going to be there too. Plus, you're bringing a lawyer, right? I want to have a one-on-one discussion with you. I know that if you give me the chance, I can make you understand my feelings.
Your feelings? Your feelings about what?
About you. I'm in love with you, Elena.
You're in love with me. Really? I don't know. I find it hard to believe that someone who loved me would hide the fact that they're married and have a kid already. Is that what love means to you? Proposing to someone while at the same time telling massive, unforgivable lies about yourself?
I was going to leave my wife anyway.
I am aware of that. However, you never told your wife about that until after you proposed to me, isn't that right? I told you, Marshall, I know about everything.
Okay, yeah, I can own that one. It's true, I didn't tell my wife about leaving her until after we decided to get married. But I've been wanting to leave her for a really long time.
Okay then, so why didn't you leave her sooner? Typically, people don't propose marriage to someone while they are still married.
I couldn't do that. We have a kid together.
None of this changes the fact that you never told me about any of this. You always told me you were single.
I'm sorry. I was always intending to tell you when the time was right. I mean, why do you think I've been in such poor health lately? The insomnia, the low energy, all of that? It's all because I knew that as our wedding day got closer and closer, I would need to break the news to you soon. And well, it was really just hard for me to come out and say it. I was too nervous.
That's your fault for putting yourself in that position.
It's not my fault. I was trying to get my wife to consent to an amicable divorce, but she kept digging her heels in. She wouldn't listen to reason.
Stop blaming everyone but yourself, Marshall. You were 100% in the wrong for hiding the truth from me up until our wedding day. End of story. And to think, if it weren't for me hearing your son crying from through the window, I might have actually gone through with marrying you. Is that why you told me you were an orphan? You were afraid of your parents finding out that you were engaged to another woman while still married to your wife? I just found out that they're not dead. They're alive and well. Did you ever tell me the truth about anything? Is your name really Marshall? How can I marry someone who has never, ever been honest with me?
I'm sorry, Elena. Really, I am. I just thought if you found out I was married, you'd break up with me.
Oh yeah? Duh? Of course I would have broken up with you.
That's why I had to keep it a secret. I only lied to you because I wanted to be with you.
You're not going to move me with sentimental speeches, Marshall, so don't bother.
I'm gonna get divorced from my wife right away. So, can't you reconsider breaking up with me?
Not a chance. I would never marry a lying, cheating scoundrel neck deep in debt like you. Yes, Marshall, that's right. I know about that, too. Your spending habits were so egregiously bad that you had to borrow money from her parents. That's why your wife wouldn't consent to the divorce. You were trying to skip out on paying them back.
I'm gonna pay them back even after we get divorced.
Oh yeah? Who's gonna fit the bill for that, Marshall? Were you planning on having me bail you out once we got married?
No, of course not. I'm gonna pay for it all by myself. There's no way I would ever do anything like that to you.
How many times do I have to tell you this, Marshall? I know everything. Everything. Your wife told me what you said to her when you were trying to get her to agree to the divorce. You told her your girlfriend was rich and had a ton of money in savings, so once you got married, you would take my money and pay her parents back right away. So stop trying to deny it.
That isn't true. I never said that. She's lying to you to make me seem like the bad guy. All she's trying to do is get between the two of us. She couldn't stand to see me happy with another woman than I was with her.
Even if that were true, and I doubt it, it changes nothing. I'm not breaking up with you because of your debt. I am breaking up with you because of your lies. It's still absolutely insane to me that the only reason I found out about all of this was because you slapped your own son. And that's just the icing on the cake at this point. You're a liar, cheater, moocher, and a child abuser.
So this is it. After all we've been through, you're just gonna break up with me? You never loved me at all, did you?
I did love you, Marshall. I meant it when I said yes. As of this morning, I was totally excited to spend the rest of my life with you. And that's what makes it hurt so much. You are the scummiest man on the face of the planet.
Elena, you have to forgive me. I admit that. I was wrong. I should have broken up with my wife before I started dating you. But please understand that my life for you is 100% genuine.
This isn't a matter of getting the order wrong, Marshall. What you did demonstrates clearly that you do not have the moral fiber of a man I would want to marry. Honestly, I'm glad you did things this way. If you hadn't, I might never have known what a no-good creep you were.
Please, don't talk like that, Elena. You're the only woman in the world for me.
You know what, Marshall? I have to hand it to you. You were right about one thing. I'm positive that I was the only woman in the world for you. Because no woman in their right mind would want to marry a piece of trash like you. After that, Marshall and I officially broke off our engagement. My troubles had ended, but Marshall's had only just begun. Since he lied to me when he said he was single, I successfully sued him for marriage fraud. Marshall is now on the hook for the cancellation fees for the wedding and punitive damage for my emotional suffering. But wait, there's more! Next up is Marshall's ex-wife. Since he had been cheating on her, she was able to secure massive alimony and child support payments from him during their divorce proceedings. And after that, he got socked with yet another lawsuit, this time from his ex-wife's parents. They obviously wanted to make sure he paid back all the money he borrowed from them. This all added up to a colossal sum that Marshall was completely helpless to pay. He sold his car, his prized motorcycle, and a whole bunch of his other stuff. But that was only enough to cover the money he owed me. He still had to pay off his ex-wife and her parents, so he had to go and take on a high-interest loan for the rest. So to say Marshall was left with nothing would be a little bit inaccurate. The truth is, he was left with less than that. You remember the parents that he told me had died when he was young? They didn't take too kindly to hearing their deaths used as a cover story for an affair, so they promptly disowned him. The only remaining ray of hope for him is that somehow in all of this, he managed to keep his job. I doubt he'll be doing much other than work for the foreseeable future, since he's going to have to keep up his alimony and child support payments in addition to the loan he took out. As for me, I'm sure you can understand what a massive shock it was when I found out that the man I was intending to marry was not only married, but a father too. But I'm sure my feelings pale in comparison to the suffering his poor wife and child must have gone through. By the way, I found out another of his lies. It turns out that the house I thought was his actually belonged to a friend of his who goes out of town on business regularly. All those times when he canceled on me at the last minute were times when his friend got home earlier than he expected. So Marshall wasn't just satisfied lying to his wife, his child, and his unknowing mistress. He was lying to his friends as well. We may have dealt him a crushing financial blow in the courtroom, but all the money in the world isn't going to make our pain at his hands go away. So now we need to work on getting our ultimate revenge, moving on and finding happiness in our lives. I don't think I'll ever see him again, but if I do, I'm gonna hold my head up high, give him a sly little smirk, and just keep on walking.